If you look at real estate news in Canada these days, you'll probably see something related to the elections. Now, it's not the first elections that there is a focus on housing affordability, but given that real estate prices in Canada have shot up so quickly recently, there's now a bigger focus on real estate this time around. As real estate investors, we want our investments to see healthy growth, so a stable housing market is just as important for us. Now, there's different ideas bouncing around between parties, and of course, some might be better than others. So in this video, let's break down the key ideas from the three major parties and see how they stack up against each other in terms of giving real results. If you like content like this, please give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss other videos like this made specifically for real estate investors in Toronto. Before we look at solutions, I think it's important for us to review what exactly is causing our housing crisis. Now, even though vacancies and speculation do make things worse, I don't think they are the key problem, and you can actually see proof by looking at what's already happened in Vancouver and Toronto. Vancouver was the first to start the empty home tax in 2017 at 1%. That didn't do much to the market, so they bumped up the rate to 1.25% in 2019. It probably still hasn't been working so well, so next year they're going to try to bump it up to 3% and see how things go. Here in Toronto, we also have plans in place for the vacant home tax starting next year. Now, 1% didn't do much in Vancouver, so we don't expect it to do much here either, especially if real estate continues to do well and grows at 5 to 10% per year. On the speculation side, both Toronto and Vancouver already have a non-resident speculation tax in place. And for this one, even though it did tame the market for a couple of years, we're now back to very high levels of growth. So it's not a long-term solution to free up supply either. The key problem that's causing our housing crisis, in my opinion, is a supply issue. Our population keeps growing and we're not building supply quick enough to meet this demand. Every year, we're getting a bigger housing deficit, and that's what's fueling our rapid property price growth. Now, nobody knows for sure what the deficit looks like, but I did a quick guesstimate to see where we're at. Our current population in Canada is around 38 million people. So assuming that each household is around 2.5 people, then this means we actually need 15.2 million homes in Canada. At the current moment, we have around 14.2 million homes. So based on this calculation, we're lacking around 1 million homes in Canada, and this supply needs to be added back quickly to slow things down. Another issue that needs a revolution is the financing side. Because property prices have grown much quicker than our incomes, we'll need some extensive changes to mortgage qualifiers if we want to have new home buyers enter the market. Take a look at this. In year 2000, Toronto home prices were 4 times the average home price. So to come up with that 20% down payment required, that's 80% of one person's annual salary. Today, home prices are 10 times the average income. So now it takes 2 people's combined income for 1 year in order to come up with that 20% down payment. On top of this, a single income could have easily qualified for the rest of the mortgage in year 2000. Now, 2 people's average annual salary barely qualifies for an average home's mortgage, assuming an 80% loan-to-value ratio. And if home buyers want to get help from CMHC, they might not even qualify these days because the program has a hard cap of $1 million, whereas the average home price in Toronto is $1 million. So if the goal is that we want more homeowners, then the government will not only need to help with saving up for the down, but they also need to combine that with easing mortgage qualifications as well. Now that you have a better idea of where the problems lie, let's see how well each party's solutions actually address our core housing crisis issues. The Liberals plan on creating 1.4 million new homes in 4 years' time. Now, if this actually gets done on time, this is great news, and it can reduce a huge chunk of our supply issue, and will only be short 80,000 homes in 4 years' time compared to our current deficit of 1 million homes. Just note that time is of the essence, and each year we wait, or if it gets delayed, we'll have to pay for it on the other end with more home buyer subsidy programs if the end result is for renters to become homeowners. The Liberals also have policies to target vacancies and speculation by banning foreign buyers from buying homes for 2 years, plus imposing a 1% vacant home tax for non-residents and introducing a flipping tax. Now, these all sound great, but like I mentioned before, I think these will have minimal long-term impact to Canada's overall housing supply, given what we've seen in Vancouver and Toronto already. On the buying side, they want to bump up the first-time home buyer's credit from $5,000 to $10,000 and implement a new home savings account where you can put $40,000 tax-free and withdraw it tax-free and put it towards your first home. Then, to help with carrying costs, they plan on reducing the CMHC mortgage insurance by 25% and giving mortgage deferrals if someone loses a job. Another interesting plan they have is to introduce a new rent-to-own program to make it easier for renters to eventually become homeowners, and this is mainly for condos. Now, these solutions sound great, but I feel like they will mainly help if someone wants to buy a condo in Toronto, but the amounts and programs won't be enough if someone wants to buy a house in Toronto, and this might even create a bigger disconnect between condos and houses moving forward. The other big thing is that they haven't addressed the mortgage side, and this will probably be the biggest barrier for home ownership. Let's look at the Conservatives next. The Tories believe that our core problem is a supply issue, so we definitely see eye to eye here. In their plan, they want to build 1 million new homes in 3 years' time, which will address the housing supply issue quicker than the Liberals, but will still be short 320,000 homes at the end of 3 years. The Conservatives have the right idea, but I think they'll definitely need to keep ramping up their new home builds after that 3 years. One thing they have in common with the Liberals is their stance towards foreign investors. The Conservatives also plan on banning foreign investors from buying for the next 2 years. On the mortgage side, I feel that the Conservatives are tackling the core issue by easing stress tests, so it'll be easier for homebuyers to get mortgages. Details include easing stress test requirements for self-employed people, removing stress tests for new home buyers, and removing stress tests when people switch lenders. Other mortgage-related mandates include encouraging 7 to 10-year mortgages and limiting mortgage insurance. I also like that the Tories are doing more on the rental front. Now, even though they are banning foreign investors from speculating, they encourage them to invest in purpose-built rentals to boost rental supply. Finally, the last idea I wanted to highlight is not just renter-friendly, but also investor-friendly, so I really think it's great. They plan on creating a capital gains tax deferral when you sell a rental property, provided that you're reinvesting the funds into new rental housing. Finally, let's look at the NDPs who believe real estate prices will probably never be attainable for most, so their focus is really to help renters out. Because of this, their solutions related to buying are definitely weaker. The NDPs plan on adding 500,000 units of affordable housing in the next 10 years, which is only 50,000 units per year, so that's definitely not enough. To target vacancies and speculation, they'll slap a 20% foreign buyers tax on homes, which is a weaker position compared to other parties as well. There's also less impactful solutions on the buying side. The NDPs plan to double the home buyer's tax credit to $1,500 to help with closing costs, and realistically, that won't be enough at our current home prices. They also plan to create a new 30-year mortgage term, which might help with financial planning, but doesn't help with entering the market either. Where they shine are definitely in the rental solutions. They plan on creating more affordable rental solutions by streamlining funding for co-ops, social and nonprofit housing, and waiving the GST/HST on new construction of affordable rentals. One more thing to note is that they plan on raising the capital gains inclusion rate from 50% to 75%, and the end result might be twofold. This will probably discourage investors from selling, so more investors might refinance to grow and hopefully boost rental supply. But having investors hang on to more real estate might actually add to the housing crisis from the end user buyer perspective. I made a poll on Instagram asking if you think new government policies will help with our housing crisis, and the results came back with a pretty clear no. To be honest, housing policy is hard. The government has other mandates like maintaining low interest rates for sustainable economic growth and meeting immigration targets, and these contribute to growing real estate prices. At the same time, a huge part of our GDP is reliant on real estate, and we do have more homeowners than renters in our population, so we really need to treat real estate with kid gloves. As real estate investors, even though we want real estate prices to go up, the growth needs to be sustainable and healthy. So if we're aiming for stable growth in real estate, then providing a better balance of supply and demand is really the best long-term solution for everyone. Wealth from real estate doesn't only come from appreciation, but it's a combination of appreciation, rental income, plus leverage, which really helps us generate stable yet amazing investment returns. We're big believers in investing in real estate in Toronto, and if you want to chat more about this, we're ready for you. We can look at your requirements and preferences and then match you up with the best investment property that fits your needs. After we help you buy it, our team also provides renovations guidance, leasing, and property management if you need it. So just connect with us if you want to learn more about our services. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and look for us on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn if you do want to hear from us more regularly. I wish you all the best in your real estate investing journey. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!